Hi, this is Veronica with the Crafty Ladder. So we are continuing with our sessions for the home set. These are pieces that I designed especially for the Apothecary Cabinet. So the size of these are not going to be any bigger than 3.5 inches for the most part. So this one, for example, is I think about 2 inches, and looking on the screen, if I pick it up, I'll get a better read, of course. So it's a little over 2 inches. And this, from the top of the flame to the bottom of the candle, it's about 2 3/4, more or less. So the pieces are not huge. They are intended for use inside of the drawers of the Apothecary Cabinet. So here I have a little drawer that's assembled. It's just got 2 layers of wood. And so it's intended to fit right in there inside of the little cabinet. So they are not huge by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted to remind you of that. And so we are going to set these aside because the set we're going to work on now is the set of keys. So I'm just kind of getting that ruler out of the way. I like to place it in the same spot every time so that I know where it is when I need it. So I am going with the colors. I guess I should mention the colors for the set I'm using are white, some brown, black, and then the accents will be sage, or a shade of green, a shade of blue, and a shade of purple. So here we go. I'm just going to set these off to the side. And so when I put the designs together for this particular set, I was thinking of things that we cherish that are connected to our home. And so we lock all of our precious things with keys or with locks, and then we use the keys to unlock them, of course. So the keys that I designed are really just basic. It won't take us long to paint these up at all. But I do want to go ahead and use a little bit of glitter on this part. So I was thinking of, some of those cars, they have those little flecks of shine in there. So the finish on them is just fantastic. So I thought we'd kind of go with that for the key itself. So let's go ahead and do that. And I am going to continue on with those colors, the shade of green, the shade of blue. I think I'm going to do blue for the little car. So we'll keep that one there in the middle, kind of going through here. And then the purple, we'll do green for the house. And then the key for the lock, special treasures that you might have, we'll go ahead and go with that purple. All right. So let's go ahead and work on these first. So I'm going to just use a silver paint, and this is a folk art metallic, and I don't know if it's got a specific, it's got to have a color on there, right? I need to get my magnifying glass because it's really small. It just says, okay, 506 Silver Anniversary. That's the name on that. So 506 Silver Anniversary Folk Art Metallic. I wonder if that comes out on the screen there. Alright, so enough playing around with that. Get that secure. I don't want that magnifying glass kind of heavy to fall over. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of silver paint. We don't need much. It's not going to take much at all. And the thing that I want to add to it is some fine glitter. That's going to give us that little bit of, it's already got, of course, it's already got the metallic in there. But it's still, as I've used this, let me go ahead and show you. If we go in and just use it straight like this, it has a little bit of a sheen, but not much. These are not base coated, by the way. got a little bit of sheen, but just not much. I don't know if you can tell. You can tell that the color's not that saturated. You can see the score line coming through. To me, it really looks more of like a gray, which is good. We want that. We need that because it is the metal part of the key. Let me go ahead and use this silver as the base coat. So it was, I mean, it's just not doing it for me. So I want to add the glitter, and not a chunky glitter or anything like that. This is an extra fine glitter. And it does seem to do a good job of adding that little sparkle that you want. And we're going to add it directly to the paint and mix it up. And you don't need much of it at all. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to think, I'm going to add a little bit of another coat there. Okie dokie. And again, you don't see, it's metallic. I don't think it's coming across on the screen, but it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. But adding the sparkle, let's see if we can tell the difference. So this is an extra fine glitter, extra fine. It's not, it's, how can I put it to you? I don't want too much, so, and I've got more than I wanted in there. I'm going to use a little skewer to mix that up. I think you can probably see that it's got some sparkle to it already. I don't know how well it's picking it up, but it does have a little bit of sparkle to it. And that's what I was thinking of, you know, a brand new car, you have those paint jobs, and it's got that little sparkle in it. And that's what I was going for. So I'm just getting some wipes. I keep them in this container. And I clean off the skewer because I want to reuse it. It can last me for months and months. Usually the only time they get ruined is if you're using them for Mod Podge or glue. Oh yeah. I think you can see that little sparkle coming through. I love it. Just a little extra kick to the paint. Oh yeah, now you can see that. Let me show you side by side. You can tell it's just, even though this has a little sheen, it's just nothing compared to that little something something you get with the glitter. And really, I was trying to describe it for you. It's not like the glitter we used to use in school where you can see the flakes. You know, the flakes have a little bit of dimension, width, and height. Like grains of sand or grains of salt. That's the typical glitter. Here, this is just like a mist of glitter. It's ground up so fine, and it's really nice. I really like it. I mean, it has its uses, right? Its application. Sometimes you want to use chunky glitter, and sometimes you don't. So here are these beautiful keys, which open up the treasures. In our home, in our car. I think they were due for some little sparkle. See that? Doesn't that look nice? I love it. I do need to do a little bit of cleanup on the edges. I just saw that. So I'm going to get a wipey. Was a lot there. Yuckaroos. I wasn't as careful as I should have been. Or really, it's such a small area that the brush I was using was probably a little too wide. Okay. So that's it for those, for the, what should be the metal part of the keys. So I used, let's go ahead and go with the, I kind of mixed them up there, didn't I? No, I still got the house, the car, and the lock. And so I said that for the, I think I said the car I'm going to use the blue. The house I'm using the green, and then the lock is purple. So I should have kept it like this in order. It just helps me remember. Or I can always make a little note to myself. Well, I'm not going to worry about that now because I've already got it figured out. But so we're going to go ahead and go with, I'm going to do the little car first. And what I want to do is use those blues, same blues that I used over here. And I went with Apple Barrel Sky Blue and Apple Barrel Admiral Blue. I don't know what it's trying to get the admiral and the blue together. I keep saying admirable, and it's not admirable. An admiral is admirable. Say that a million times fast. Admiral blue. So I want to get kind of a shading around the border of this key to be the darker blue, and then the little car will be the light blue. So let's go ahead and do that. And we just need, I mean, it's a very small area, so we only need a little pea size. And need to use a little detail brush. So we're going to go with this one. These little blue brushes I picked up at Hobby Lobby, I think. Or I don't know, they could be from Dollar Tree. I better not lie to you, I'm not sure exactly where. But well, before I do that, I need to think about this area here. So if this is going to be a darker blue and this is going to be a lighter blue, the little car is going to be a lighter blue, I need to kind of distinguish this little area here. So I think maybe I will go with not white, but I did use kind of this marshmallow color here with a mix of white in the candle. And so I think I'm going to go with that around here, around this little interior section. So that happens to be an Apple Barrel Marshmallow. So we're going to go with that. going to go ahead and use a wipe to get that on there. I don't need to worry about, the little car's going to go over that, the actual overlay. So I don't really need to worry about getting it in there. It's very close to the color of the wood. It's got enough of a difference that it will contrast nicely with the little blue border. I don't know why I feel like I have to super concentrate. It's the smallest things, right? Okay, and I think I'm going to do the same thing over here with these other two pieces. We'll do some shading around the perimeter or the edge of the key. So I want to get that marshmallowy color. And it also helps because the wood is dry, as I've mentioned. And this kind of serves as the base coat, so that when we go in and do the shading, we'll hopefully minimize any bleeding that might happen. Okie dokie. So kind of debating whether I should base coat those, and I think I will. And I'm going to use this little block. All I do is take a tape runner, run it across there. This is adhesive, just tape, double-sided tape. And so now it's sticky, and I'll be able to stick my small little pieces on there, and it makes it easier. So I'm kind of just base coating all of these. And when you stick them together like that, it makes this job really easy. You won't get any paint on the edges, or it kind of minimizes the risk of that. And that tape just keeps them in place so you don't have to worry about them shifting on you. These small little pieces can be tricky, but with that, it makes it easy. Alright, so now this one should be pretty ready. So I just want to go in and use that darker shade of blue. Now normally I use an angle brush for shading, but because this little perimeter, this little border here is so small, I just want to go ahead and use this. It's a round brush, it's a little detail brush. And it should help me just go around the edge. It's a little bit darker than I wanted. I need a little bit more water. Running through that again. It's a good idea that I base coated that. So otherwise this would probably be running. And I'm really liking how that's coming out. It is kind of giving me some lowlights and highlights. Instead of it being just a solid blue. Kind of a little ombre effect going on. And for sure you could totally use a paint marker here. In fact, I don't know why I didn't think of that first. Kind of went over the line there. Okey-dokes. Just a little bit of a border. I know you can't see it that well, but it's just a little bit of a border. And so now we are going to go and do a little bit of a little bit of shading on for the little house and then the little lock. So for the little house we said we were doing the green. So for that we were using, I know we used the satin cactus as the light shade of green. And of course, for some reason I can't find, here it is. And for the darker, so the border area, the shading, we're going to use the Lush Green from Deco Art. And I am going to use a small angle brush. Just get some water on here and then dip the toe of the brush. And I'm not really worried about perfection here because it's just a little bit of shading around the edge. It's going to complement the little house. Which will be that lighter shade of green. There we go. And that's it. And then we want, see, too much paint. I hate wasting paint. And for this one we are using that purple, which is that darker shade of purple. It's a Apple Barrel Royal Violet. And we just need a little drop. Ugh. Too much power in that squeeze. Okay, we need a little bit of water. A little bit of paint on the toe. Shade this puppy up. It's looking a little bit lighter than I wanted, so I'm going to go back in and grab a little bit more paint. Here we go. And I've got a little bit of bleed there, so I'm going to come in, same brush, and come in with that marshmallow color and get rid of that bleed. There we go. And I think I do want a little bit darker on that purple. There we go. Okie dokie. You know, now that I'm looking at that blue, I think it's a little too dark. So I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit of a lighter. Look by just adding water. And I think it's a little too dry already, so it's not doing much for me. So right now when we get the blue, the lighter shade of blue out, I'll go over that because I do want it a little bit lighter. I mean, it's good, it's good. So you see it's already complementing the candles over here. Alright, so now it's time to go in with the lighter shades of blue over here. Now when we did the candles, I went ahead and used glaze to... I used a Golden Brand satin glazing liquid so that I could make the paints a little bit more transparent. But we don't need to worry about that here because we're just going to go straight with the paint as it comes out. So this is the Apple Barrel Sky Blue, and I'm just going to use a wipe. And we're going to do the car in this blue. I'm going to separate these. I want to make sure I don't get any blue in the on the other pieces. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Nice. And we are going to use the Apple Barrel Lavender Sachet on the lock. Oh, so much. Too much. I think I'm going to do the little lock itself, or the clasp of the lock. I'm going to come in with some of that metallic in just a bit. And then the house is that cactus. There we go, finally. Beautiful. Just want you to know you're beautiful. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, and remember said that that blue is just a little too dark for me. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with that lighter sky blue and do a little bit of touch up there. Kind of lighten that up. Use my finger to smooth that out. It still has some moisture from when I was trying to just get it a little bit softer looking with the water. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of that marshmallow. Let's see if I can get it a little bit softer looking. It's just looking a little too harsh for me. It started off nice with that little ombre effect, but then I kept going over it with that dark blue, that Admiral blue, Admiral blue. There we go. Okie dokes. I like that better. And I said I was going to do that little clasp on the lock. I'm going to add that silver detail with the glitter. Oh, it looks pretty. Looks really pretty. Of course, you don't have to add it to just silver. You can add it to any color. Right now, since I had some of that blue on the brush, I didn't bother to clean it. I'm getting a little bit of blue hue, but that's okay. I like it. I know you probably can't tell. Alrighty. So, time to, I think, glue these up. I'm debating whether I should add a little bit of contour on those. I guess I will. Since I have the paint, might as well. So I'm going in with the darker color. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of darkness, shading to the edges. Okay. And then for the blue, gotta be careful because that Admiral blue, attention, that admirable is really dark. There we go. And then that purple, which is the Royal Violet, along the edge there. Nice, 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 nice. I mean, you don't have to do all of that detail work, but I'm here, the idea came to me, went ahead and went for it. So here we go. Now I need glue. And so I'm just using the Titebond Quick and Thick. And just need a little bit because it's these pieces that I need to add. Just use your finger. score line is there, so you should be able to get the center very quickly and easily. Oh, looks so cute, so cute. Now the little car. Sometimes I just go overboard with the glue, so you can always dab some off. I use wax paper, just dab some off. Actually had some glue on my finger and I got it on the car. Shame on me. I'm gonna have to do a little paint work on that to fix it. There we go. I need that skewer. So I got glue in one of the headlights. Who knew I was going to be saying that today? Glue in a headlight. And actually, it doesn't need paint. It's just I had gotten the glue in that headlight. I knew something was off. Alright. And now, try and not get too much glue on there so you don't get it in the little lock. I usually put too much glue on, and that's why that if you just dab it on the paper, get some of that excess off, you should be good, so you don't have too much seepage to worry about. I'm going to move that off to the side. Score line is there as your guide. Oh, just looks so cute. Now again, you don't need to add that sparkle, but if you do, it looks nice. You know what I'm noticing? Those little holes need a little bit of shading, so I'm going to do that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But better late than never. So, go back in with the purple. Don't want too much. I'm just going to get it around that little hole. I think I placed it on there a little crooked, but with the Tide Bond you have time to move things around, so if it's not perfect you can get it there. Ropes, maybe a little bit of a touch more darkness on the bottom. There we go. And the side. It just adds a little something. When you put that contrast in there, you can tell that the edges are a little bit too light. There you go. Now we're going to do a little bit of blue, again being careful because that Admiral blue, look at me, I didn't add the extra syllable this time. That Admiral blue is really dark, so we don't want to go overboard. Okay, and now the green. There we go. again, since I added it on the edge, you can kind of tell it needs a little bit more around the perimeter. There we go. Oh, I love them. I think they look fantastic. And this one was really quick and fun. I really love that. So let me go ahead and set these up. Following that little color story that we've got going on. The base colors, of course, are the white, the brown, and the black. And then the accent colors, the green, the blue, the purple. So I think it's looking fantastic. It's going to be a cute little set once it's all put together, and they're going to fit inside of the drawers nicely. So that's nice. Look at that. It's going to peep out the top. So this particular one only has 2 layers, and it's about halfway. The lift part is about halfway. So there's another lift spacer that is a little bit shallower, so it can stick out that much if you like. There you go. But I think they're looking fantastic. All right, thanks so much for joining me for this particular video on the keys for the home set for the Apothecary Cabinet. I'm Veronica, and if you have any questions or if you want to share your photos with me, please do so over on our Facebook page, The Crafty Ladder, or you can always email me. I can be found at thecraftyladder@gmail.com. All right, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next video for this particular set. I think we're working on tags next, so that'll be awesome. Thanks. Bye.